Hello everyone, welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot in a red state, utilizing Tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. The focus of today's reading is going to be looking into the Ukrainian and Russian war. Now, I haven't done a reading on this for a while because kind of where it is right now is President Zelensky is not going to be giving up any land. Putin does not want peace. He wants Ukraine. So that's kind of where that is. So that's kind of why I haven't done any readings on that. But I thought I would go ahead and do kind of a look because now we have a little bit of movement here in that President Zelensky he's totally playing Trump by saying, oh, if you will sell us tomahawk missiles, then I will totally nominate you for a Nobel Peace Prize. That is how easy it is to manipulate this little toddler in chief of, oh, bright shiny object. If we win this war, you could have the Nobel Peace Prize. So I'm kind of wanting to look at that. Actually, that's what I'm wanting to look at. Like, is that tactic going to work? Is the promise or, the hope of a Nobel Peace Prize going to be enough to like move Trump away from Putin? And then Trump just then started repeating the Russian talking points of, oh, well, you're going to have to give up the Donbass region, and like Ukraine's not going to do that. If you hear that squeaky tire sound, that squeaky wheel sound in the background, that's my son's bird, and he's fine. He's just wanting attention right now, so he's just going to be a little squeaky wheel. Usually when I stop talking, he stops doing that because he knows that we're listening whenever we stop. So maybe he'll stop now. So anyway, I do want to look into how effective is this strategy going to be that President Zelensky now has, which is this hope of a Nobel Peace Prize. As always, this is for entertainment purposes only, and the deck I'm using today is Morgan Greer, and I just bought a brand new deck. I'm so excited to use it. It's a little slick, but I just love the sound of like crisp cards. Little tarot geek moment. Okay, so back to this. President Zelensky saying he would personally nominate Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize if the U.S. would sell Tomahawk missiles. Is this strategy going to work? Is that going to be enough? Okay, entertainment purposes only. President Zelensky. So, King of Swords, this is going to be, I am feeling that this is President Zelensky. He's very focused, the military man who's very focused to win this war. Okay, and he's not going to back down. He's not going to give up land. Crossing that is what we have the money to pay for this. Sell us weapons. And so the challenge is going to be actually getting the weapons. That's the challenge. Okay. Let's see if this works. A righteous path. This is all about Ukraine right here. That righteous path that they are that they're walking right now. And this is the card. This feels like I feel the loneliness in this card. Like they have to do this. They physically have to do this alone, but they know that they have the support of the world. I mean, they really do. But this is their path that they have to walk, and that it's a righteous path, and that they're not going to give up. And they're not going to give up land. The communications, keeping the line of communications open. The negotiations for getting these weapons so that they can win the war. Oh, the Tower card, yeah. This is coming up here in the past. And the recent influences. I know that, they've been doing some serious damage with those drones. Can you imagine if they got Tomahawk missiles, what they would be able to do? And so that's kind of like, look at what we can do with drones. That's the feeling I'm getting with that, is they've already, it's like the havoc that they've wreaked on Russia just from drones. That's the big thing I'm getting there. And then battle weary, but they know that they can't. They are ready for this war to end, and those Tomahawk missiles would be they would bring an end faster. Okay. So that's why they're wanting them. So is this going to work? Are they going to get these missiles? And as far as getting those missiles, seeking this is the wealthy woman. It's also seeing the rewards of your hard work and happy messages coming through, like the agreements, and in about a month. So yeah, I think that they will. Is the Trump administration still in office whenever are they still in office whenever they get these missiles? Do we still have is this administration still in office? This is like winning at all costs, fleeing, under the dark of night. The star card. Hopes, wishes, and dreams of our country is that this toxicity. And remember, anytime the devil card comes up, say it with me: Trump is fucking Satan. Okay, we're gonna laugh at that every single time that devil card comes up. Let me just take a moment here and look at this. Will they even still be in office? If they leave, then they can. I'm wondering if this is actually a already recent past, or if this is a coming up and then like the order of things type thing. So what's this Tower card? Let me get more on this. Controlling the orange beast. And I had just said in the Morgan Greer deck, in the reading that you saw yesterday, which was in this deck, this was like more orange. So it was like the people controlling the orange beast. Things are up in the air. Things are going to be a bit murky here with this, and overcoming. Okay. Sometimes when I do readings, I know, like, I always like this is the past, this is the present, this is, the future. But sometimes that past hasn't happened yet. But when it does happen, then like everything else is like in line. So I'm kind of feeling with this Tower card coming up in the past, like it hasn't happened yet. And I'm saying this because of things that I'm getting in other readings, like the government shutdown ends. Like I literally get the government shutdown ends whenever this administration is no more. The Epstein files, election fraud, like the war crimes that they're committing right now, blowing up those boats in Venezuela, like all of this is getting ready to come to a head. And I'm kind of feeling with Ukraine, like when this administration is no more, they get they're going to get those missiles, and then they're going to be able to win this war. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting, like this progression of right now. They're keeping the lines of communication open. They're being very clear about, we have the money to buy these weapons, because Trump isn't going to do anything out of the kindness of his heart, because he has no heart and he's not kind. So we will buy these weapons, and Zelensky's not, he's not fucking around. He's like, we're going to win this war. And I get then that it's like the Tower card happens, and then kind of like they get the weapons, like then they get the rewards of their hard work, of they get what they've been asking for, and it's in about a month. That's when I'm getting like this administration, like the shit hits the fan in about a month with this administration. So that's kind of what I'm feeling with this. Like, if the people from Ukraine just hang in there, we want the orange shit stain gone just very quickly too. We want you guys to be able to have those weapons to fend off Putin. So let me see here where I want to go with this. Where am I at on time? Helps if I have my reading glasses on. Oh yeah, I've got plenty of time. So let's see. I want to know, is Trump still, he's still doing the Russian talking points. He's still like trying to, like walk that line between, well, we've got the Russian, talking points, but we know we're supposed to be pro-Ukraine because, the entire U.S. is, pro-Ukraine, right? We're pro-Ukraine. Those polling numbers, he's underwater on everything, including this. In fact, what was it? The last polling I saw, it was only like 8% said that we should side with Russia. So that I think that 8% is the administration. So I just want to know, is Trump going to continue this, like, he's been trying to, like, not be so overt about it, but, you know, he is doing the Russian talking points. So what is it that we can expect between Putin and Trump? Yeah, that's just, what can we expect with Putin and Trump here? And with Putin and Trump, Putin's put a lot of work into, this, Krasnov here with, all the, if the reporting is to be believed, and I think I did a reading on it, and it was like, oh yeah, that's probably pretty close to the truth. They've really worked hard in making him a Russian asset, and it's going to blow up in their face. They did not choose wisely. They thought they did, but they actually chose, like, probably one of the most stupidest people in America, for to be their Russian asset. The American people, our hopes, wishes, and dreams do not align with this. And what's real interesting is that in the tarot, this is the card that comes up after this. So just think of, I always say with this card, think of like these lightning bolts and everything's on fire, everybody's fleeing, and here's the water. They could even be like fleeing, over water, like going to other countries. When this all breaks away, and what is it, I think it's my Sacred Rose Tarot, there's like white lights coming out of the tower, just really bright white lights. And what those lights are is the Star card, because this is the very next card. We have to get rid of this. Whenever, we get rid of what doesn't serve us, this is what we have left, is our hopes, wishes, and dreams. Like who we're meant to be, as a country. This is where we're trying to get to. And that I was asking about Putin, and this is going to blow up in his face. Because when this happens, the American people, we do not side with Russia. And he should know that. He should be able to see the writing on the wall here. The foundation, the toxicity. We are not doing this. This is what Putin has tried to make this country be, and we're not, and this is like the higher energy, like, no, this is not what we do. Yeah, the disappointment, Trump, and now, remember, I always see this, there's always hope here. So, even though Trump is completely capitulated to Russia, not all is lost. Okay, we still have our truth here of who we are as Americans and what we stand for as a country. And here's the fleeing. This is literally in a lot of decks, this is like crossing the river Styx. And so it's a movement card, fleeing in the dark of night, under the cover of night, and going over water. Wouldn't surprise me if, there's not plans being made to go to, Argentina and Middle East. Is kind of what I'm feeling is where a lot of this administration is going to try to go. So as far as Trump and Putin goes, I think that they're seeing the writing on the wall here, this Tower card and the Devil card especially. And then here you've got the hopes, wishes, and dreams of the American people, and we're not having it. So what is this? I'm curious about this Six of Swords. What do we need to know more about the Six of Swords? Overcoming, having to overcome, people rejoicing. Oh my God, whenever this administration falls, we are going to so rejoice. And just, biding our time. Just wait. Because the writing's on the wall. As far as Putin, what's he going to do whenever this administration falls? Mad King Don and New Beginnings, the Fool. Yeah, man, literally, Mad King Don is an idiot. Well, we know that. And our country, like going in a new direction. And I was asking about what does Putin think? He thinks Trump's an idiot. And drunk on power, and it's coming to an end. Putin sees the writing on the wall. Okay, so Putin sees the writing on the wall. I wonder if he's going to escalate. If he thinks that, he's lost America, the United States in this, I wonder if there's not going to be some lashing out. where am I on time? Yeah, I'm going to ask that real quick. If he realizes he's like losing, like he's not going to have the United States there, in his corner, what is he going to do? What is Putin going to do? And I'm just going to do 3 cards. What's he going to do whenever he realizes that this administration is no more? He has a plan. Putin always has a plan of how is he going to hold on to political power, and he's going to have to admit defeat if he wants to hold on to political power. He will never admit defeat to the Russian people, but he's going to have to figure out somehow to get out of this war because he's not going to win. And especially with, the betrayal. And, no, he's not winning. He's not winning. And like going back to happier times, going back to a time of peace. In fact, those look like peace lilies even in there. Okay, offerings of peace is what I'm going to see here. Not that Putin is going to be exactly offering peace, but he's just going to, like get the hell out of their country is what I'm seeing with this. So, yeah. I was just making sure there wasn't something a little bit more explosive going to happen. With that Tower card coming up, it wouldn't surprise me if there's not some kind of threats about using some kind of nuclear weapons, but I don't see him following through with that because unless he's just going to completely, like, if I can't have what I want, the entire Russian country is going to be like thrown to the wolves. I mean, I don't see him doing that because I think he realizes that nuclear weapons will not get him what he wants at all. So, yeah, with Zelensky, he's got Trump's number. He knows how to keep him engaged in the conversation, how to keep the United States engaged in these negotiations. And I do get that in about a month, we'll see. I'm really looking forward to doing that November energy reading because everything I've been getting really kind of is pointing to that same kind of midpoint in November. So I think November is going to be kind of exciting for a lot of a variety of reasons. But yeah, and that Trump's out of his mind. He is not in any position whatsoever. It's like I always say, the part of his brain that's making the decisions should not be making decisions. And I can't even read on him. I can't even read on him anymore because it's just so, he's not all there at all. And so this is all like Stephen Miller's doing. And what is that? Keg's Breath and Blondie and just that whole ilk. I mean, I don't want to go through the list. That's who's all really driving this, but it's really, Stephen Miller. And so, but Putin, he's not stupid and he sees the writing on the wall. So expect when this administration falls, that's when you're going to see a big movement in the Russian, like withdrawing out of Ukraine. So if the Ukrainian people just hold on until we get things like figured out here, and then, I do see a big turn in that for them. So yeah, hang in there. Thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I'll put another reading up here for you guys to check out. I'm probably just going to keep some of those energy readings up here because they have been so spot on. And we're coming up on that week of the 19th, right now, which for us is going to be a lot about Epstein files. So this will post probably on Wednesday, and I'm sure they'll be like, oh my gosh, I'll probably be pushing readings off because I'll be doing more readings about what we find out in Virginia Guffrey's book. So anyway, quick peek into the Ukrainians, and they're doing okay. Just hang in there with the United States. Once we get rid of this administration, we'll be right back there, protecting freedom and being a true ally for democracy. So thank you very much for joining me, and I will catch you on the next reading.